Hello, Sandra Embleton here. There's one more thing I meant to speak on today, so I will briefly just say what I have to say, what I'm being guided to say. I have nothing to say. I watched a television program this morning that deals with spirituality, and it's been going on for a great number of years, and really it's the only show on television that I've been able to find that deals with the supernatural, that deals with great stories of spirituality. And I watched the show a number of weeks, about a month ago actually, and then I watched it again this morning. Just sometimes I watch to see, who's on there, and just make an observation. Are they speaking from God? Are they out to sell a book and line their pocket? Are they out to just create a show and need to fill that chair? Is it about connections? What is it about, and what's really happening there? And just, it's, as far as I'm concerned, this show has had a really high level of integrity for a number of years. But recently I've just felt, after watching a number of the guests on this show, I guess I want to say this. If you have something to say about your journey and what you've learned, make it about you and your journey and what you've learned and what's happened to you. The moment you go in and try to tear someone down or say these people are bad, they're not of God, and I had to learn this, and spirituality and accessing God should only be done this one way, and you have to. The only way to know God is if you believe in Christ Jesus. Making the statement that you believe in Christ Jesus, and so therefore you're right, and you're able to slander other people who are out there sharing their journey and doing what God is asking them to do, I don't feel that is worthy of, I guess I want to say, would that have God's approval? When you try to make one sex wrong and dark and to blame for what is happening in the world today, you divide the sexes. That does more damage and throws us back into the Middle Ages, into the Dark Ages, where we had to say, this person's bad, this woman's bad, women are bad, they're the root of all evil, they're this or that. I wonder how many people heard that and believed it. I don't know. I always felt that you don't put somebody down to lift yourself up. The truth is, when you put someone down to lift yourself up, it puts you down. If you have something noteworthy to say, if you have something positive to say, then say it without making anybody else wrong. Our world has been going on for a long, long time. Everyone's journey is different. Everyone has chosen to incarnate into a different race, a different time, to learn what it's like to be a man, to learn what it's like to be a woman, to know what it's like to be a Hindu, to know what it's like to be Jewish, Christian, Chinese, whatever, African, Mexican, it doesn't matter. we're all going to experience what it's like to know to walk in the shoes of those people. That's the beauty of coming back again and again, is the hatred you bear towards other people. I think it was said that, I'm not sure, was that Dolores Cannon or what, but as you come back as that person the next time. So the people that you are pointing fingers at and that you are making wrong, perhaps the next lifetime you'll be reincarnated as one of them, so you can feel their life and know their walk. And that brings compassion, doesn't it? That brings compassion. When we are able to be compassionate of one another, accepting of one another and their journey. People functioning at a low vibration or at a low vibration, if they're angry, if they're in fear and everything, you don't have to be around them. You can walk away from them. Just because they're of a different race doesn't mean you have to stand and be nice to them or try and convince them that of your ways better. The more we are accepting of other people and where they've been and what their experiences showed them, those public figures that come forward and are speaking are doing that because they've been guided to do that. And if you understand that God is in all things, you're not going to be critical of other people who've been guided by God to do what they're doing. When you move into the acceptance, oh, those people are doing that because God's led them to that. Those people are doing a lot of good. Those people are doing this. But when you go out and you try to put them down and say they're wrong, you're not honoring their journey or your journey. Chances are you're just trying to make money. So, if that's your goal, I think a lot of people will be able to see through that. And yeah, I'm just a little saddened that when people are given a public forum and when they get up there, all they have to do is say, this is what's wrong with our society. This is who to blame. This is who we want to take down. This is who we want to target. Have the awareness that your journey is not to be like anyone else's. And if you have the respect and the love for God that you say you do, every person that comes up to you is God. Every person that you encounter is a reflection of God. And how much you love yourself depends on who you attract to you. And if you have the consciousness that you carry the consciousness of God, that you are God showing up everywhere you go, then God will show up to mirror you. And she does. Can you see it? Can you see it? Start living your daily life with the awareness, oh, this is God showing up. Oh, this is God showing up. This is God showing up to teach me a lesson, to show me something, to enlighten me, to mirror back myself. Because I cannot see in another what's not in me. And if I can't see the person's beauty in front of me, it's not in me. If I can't see the God in that person, it's not in me. And there's your barometer. So if you are finding fault with others and putting them down and trying to make yourself the voice of authority, I think you'll be humbled pretty quick. Maybe, maybe not. But the presence of God will not be in you or on you. And people who carry the presence of God will be able to know that. You probably get away with doing that because the people that you are with do not carry the presence of God. And they just look at you, oh, okay, whatever. They wouldn't know the difference. But the people that work for God, the servants of God, the people that carry the energy of God, the people that God sends to be his presence wherever he sends them, they're the ones that are going to know. They'll know who you are. They won't feel anything from you. They'll just feel dead energy. That's what I feel when I'm with people who are not able to walk the walk, carry the presence. When I'm in their company, it's like, you just feel nothing from them. It's dead space. There's no, you cannot feel that God presence from that person. When you start to tune yourself into that, you're walking with God. And that's a woman's intuition. That's a woman's intuition. And women can tell when someone is being real and when they're not. Women can tell when someone is not coming from truth. And that scares people who don't come from truth, who do not like women, who do not trust and know women, and understand that it is the women that bring you to God, because it's the women that are the goddess, that speak, like Eve goes to God. Eve gets the apple. Eve gets the knowledge. What'd she do? She's kind enough to go to Adam and go, I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to share this wisdom with you. And he goes, this is good stuff. I'm going to put it into action. That's the process. That's the Adam and Eve. I don't want to say syndrome. I want to say that's the garden connection. When you're in the garden connection, you're trusting that the woman God's brought to you will connect you with God, and you honor her, and you listen, and you trust her intuition. And that's why women over the years have been persecuted and put down, because they're connected to God. And if men don't have that, that puts them in a tough spot, because I guess they don't understand that garden connection. They don't understand that their wisdom comes through God and comes through the presence of the woman and the woman's intuition. So smart men marry a woman of God and listen to her and help her grow and help her learn and have faith in her and encourage her to know God more and more, because she'll get it, because that's a woman's gift. Isn't that nice? Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that to be celebrated? Yes, 3 wise men were allowed to go off in pursuit of their dream by 3 wise women. Wow. I'm getting a tingle on that, eh? Like, whoa. Yes. Oh boy, my body's breaking out totally now in goosebumps. Wow, that was profound. That just came through. 3 wise men went off to find the Christ, in search of the Christ. And the women said, you go ahead, hun. You go ahead. You go find that. And they found it. And they believed it. And they brought their gifts. Yeah. Men bring their gifts, don't they? Men have great gifts. Great gifts to bring. So women really need men. Women need men to protect them and to look after them and care for them. Being a man in today's world, because I'm not a man, I can't speak from that, but I look at the men I know in my world, and I look at I guess I'll speak about the one I know, and my man is incredibly kind. There's nothing he wouldn't do for me. And when men struggle with finding God, with finding their faith. That's what we're there to do, to help them. And you meet everybody on their own playing field. And you do your best to meet your partner where they are, but continue to pray, meditate, and send them light and love, even though they struggle, just like we do. But I think that's the woman's gift, is to love. I think that's why God comes through the woman, is to mirror God's love back to the man. And if men would understand that the loving eyes that look at them every night when they go to sleep are from God, I believe it's essential that the woman wake up to that inside of herself. And that when she knows that she is God loving her man, God comes through her to love her man, then she'll let that come through. And the man, in his wisdom, will receive it. There we go. Yeah. Yes, I think I'm thinking, yes, I'd like my own spiritual talk show. We'd get some real stuff on there then, wouldn't we? Thank you.